the HANA introduction. HANA is a in-memory column-oriented columnar database. So it has only column store tables. That is the reason the immediately quickly we can pull the data from the in-memory, the column-oriented levels, right? This is the one of the first column-oriented database. We have other databases, it will store the data in the row level, but this is the one of the different way it will store it. The two, especially this data will store into the in-memory level. So HANA is a column-oriented columnar database. So then after that we discussed HANA installation requirements. So to install the HANA database, the mainly here the HANA hardware requirements are very important here. But because HANA is a combination of the hardware and software requirement here. So hardware requirement side, we discussed about the RAM sizing, how to get the RAM sizing, what operating systems, how many CPUs we required. So what are the file systems we required? What are the storage space level? What is the space sizing? So sizing and hardware, network capacity, bandwidth, all those things we discussed as part of the HANA hardware requirement here. So hardware side, the processor and all certified hardware vendors only we have to use it. HANA certified hardware vendors, either Intel, Dell, Lenovo, Fujitsu. So like that, so we have to use the certified hardware vendor. The RAM size we can get from the we can get in the either quick sizer tool or T-set sizing method, or our in the company, the client or customer will tell you what is how much RAM you have to take it out, right? Then operating system side, so we required the either Linux platform, either SUSE Linux or Red Hat Linux. We have to use it for the HANA databases here. Coming to the CPUs here, how many types of CPUs we have? So here each physical CPU, PCPU, will handle the 14 GB of main memory. Depends upon the RAM memory, it will handle the one CPU 14 GB. If you have the 1 terabyte, 1 terabyte by 14 GB, how many CPUs you required? If it is the cloud, that is called the vCPU, virtual CPU concept, then it will handle the 7 to 8 GB of RAM memory. That means double. So two virtual CPUs equals to one main CPU here, one physical CPU here in the cloud level, right? So what are the file systems we have to use it here, right? We have the 5 types of file systems here: root, USR SAP, then /HANA data, then /HANA log folder, then /HANA shared folder. So these are the file systems we have to use it here. 5 types of file systems we have to use it here in the file system side. So what the space level? Root 10 GB, USR SAP, HANA log, shared, network bandwidth. So all those things, so we know how to use it and everything here, right? All those things we know, right? So this is what we discussed in the network. So 1 Gbps, 1 Gbps per second. So or 1 gigabyte per second, or Mbps also fine. It should be good network bandwidth here. So then what are the softwares? HANA DB we required. Then HANA client we required. So mandatory thing is HANA DB, HANA clients are required. HANA DB, HANA clients are required for processing this one, right? So these are the hardware. These are the hardware requirement and software requirement we discussed. So HANA installation. Next one, we started with the HANA installation. HANA installation can be done using HDB LCM tools. HDB LCM tools are, so we can done using the HDB LCM tool. These tools are introduced in the HANA 1.0 SPS 10 onwards. HANA tools are introduced here. So HANA, the maintenance strategy is here. So once a year, HANA, once a year, there is a new SP, new SP will be released. New SPS, there is a new SPS will be released here. In between, we need to use the revisions here. right? So also we discussed about the HANA 1.0 and HANA 2.0. HANA 1.0, HANA 2.0 differences, single container, multi-container, apartment concept and independent home concept we discussed, and HANA family members we discussed. When you do the HANA installation, when you do the house ceremony, so then we will get the family members inside of the home, right? Here also, when you install the HANA database, then one family will stay. That is called the HANA family. HANA process will stay in the inside of the HANA database here. That HANA index server, name server, preprocessor, compile server, web dispatcher, and also we discussed about the each and every process here. Here, the main processor, systemdb, systemdb, the name server is the master. Name server is the master. Then in the tenant DB, index server is the master here. Why? Because all the data in the HANA database level, it stores only one process, that is called the index server process here. In the index server, all the data will be stored into the index server level here, right? So for the monitoring administration perspective, we can use the HANA Studio. HANA Studio is the one tool here. So using the 3 instance number 15 is the port number we can connect to the from HANA Studio to so your backend SAP HANA databases here. For the administration perspective, we can use the HANA Studio for the monitoring here, right? So that is the one thing we discussed. So, and the administration part, we have the overview tab. So, we discussed about the overview. So, landscape and configuration, performance tab. So, OL alerts tab, right? So, then configuration discussed and also diagnosis files here. So, diagnostic files here. Then, yeah, some other
System identification.
yeah, these things we discussed in the HANA Studio, parameter changes, performance monitoring, all the things we discussed in the HANA Studio level, right? Parameter changes and everything. Also, we discussed about the file systems, HANA file systems here. So here, trace directory is the very, very important. HANA, the trace directory, HANA trace directory is the very important here in HANA trace directory. In the HANA trace directory, so we discussed about the how to check the logs, which logs are will be helpful here. The mandatory, the daemon.log file, daemon.trc file, trc index server trc trace file, and a respective process related trace file is very enough. Yeah, mainly daemon, if you see it here, you will get the clear picture. Why? Because daemon will try to start the other process. So so if you check the daemon, why other process is not getting started, then you will come to know one conclusion here, right? Daemon, index server, all those things here, right? Also, we discussed about the HANA delta merge is the internal process, and also HANA save point interval. Every 5 minutes, the data will push from memory to disk layer, that is called the /HANA data. /HANA data, the data will be pushed here. The data will be pushed here, right? Data will be pushed here. Every 5 minutes, one main memory to disk level data will be pushed here. Right? Delta merge means the main memory is divided into the two parts. One is the DS and MS. So the process of moving the delta changes from DS to MS is called the delta merge. Means delta changes are merging into the main storage. So when the transaction is committed, if the transaction is committed, then only the data will go to the DS to MS. Okay, delta storage to main storage here, save point interval, trace directory, file systems, right? So these are the things very important as part of technical discussion, technical point of view, right? And also these are the internal process. They will ask you what is that. And also we discussed about the memory management, restriction of the memory consumption, HANA, yeah, tenant creations, deletions, how to reset the systemdb passwords. So using the OS level, we can do the systemdb on the system passwords and everything. That is also we discussed. Apart from that, we discussed about the HANA upgrades. We discussed using same using the HDB LCM tools only we discussed. And also we discussed about the resident HDB LCM also. This is after installation, you will get the resident HDB LCM. So here we will do the all kind of activities. So like all the post activities, like so rename, register, update, delete, drop, whatever you want, SLT configuration, local network configuration. We will use the resident HDB LCM. What is the difference between the normal HDB LCM, resident HDB LCM means? So normal HDB LCM is for the installations or updating the components. Now resident HDB LCM means it's kind of post installation activities to perform SLT network configuration. All the things will do using this president HDB LCM. This question they may ask you. And trace logs directory. What is the delta match? What is the save point interval? So name server, preprocessor, and also the difference between the HANA 1.0, 2.0s, right? How many process, what the process is available in the tenant databases, how to create the tenant by using the systemdb, alter, create database name commands, we can use it here, right? So like that we discussed these are the main things high level which are very important for the interview point of time, in the real time these are the most of the things very important. So parameter changes, that is also very important. Why? Because in the real time sometimes we may have to apply the parameters in the HANA level. So how to check whether that parameters true or false to restart it here, right? These things we discussed. Also we discussed about the so how to download the softwares, that is also fine. License, types of licenses, and starting the HANA systems. Right? Yes, I think these are the things we discussed in the yes.
Yeah, so since you mentioned that, I just want to raise this one. So let's say we forgot the DDI's password. So we using the OS level, we can reset the password, right? Like I mean, like we can open the SAP Star, right? Can you show
Yes.
that one?
Yeah, we can open it. There is a we can we have to in the SAP level we have to set the one parameter login slash no underscore automatic underscore. So user SAP star equals to 1. We have to change this parameter in the default profile.
Is it 1 or 0?
1 or 0 something, I think 0 I think.
Yeah, but let's say I'm not at I forgot the DDI's password, which means like I cannot log into the client at all. Like let's say I cannot log into the system. Now I want to do that from the OS level. From the OS level also we can change the parameters, right? So
Yeah, OS level also we can change the profile parameter. There is a USR
the
SAP SPSS.
default.pfl.
Yeah, default profile we can change it. When we discussed about the SAP file system structure, that time sys profile, the profile directory, we can go to the default profile, we can change it, then restart the application server. So if the SAP star already exists, delete it. So you can use the drop command. So in the database level, you can use the drop command. So or alter or delete commands you can use it. So delete the existing SAP star user. Then only we can able to log into the SAP star with pass. If the SAP star already exists, you cannot log in. So you need to drop or delete the existing SAP star user from the commands in the USR 02 table. So we need to do that one. Then restart it. Then you can log into the that SAP star with pass. Then we can reset the password.
Is that what we can see practically, or do
Practically,
we have that?
we have done it right in the SAP star.
I mean,
SAP.
I know, but just for awareness for everyone, because they might actually when they're in the real time, they might actually
I
doing
think
some task and then they need
yeah,
DDSC password is completely gone and then they don't know what password it is because all the credentials are maintained in a secure place. They might have been given, but while they're doing some task, it is not accessible. Then they might have to do this SAP star, bring up this SAP star
yeah,
through OS level.
yeah. Here the people they have attended the SAP classes. In the SAP classes, when the time of client administration, I have covered the profiles topic in that profile topic. So how to enable that? Why? Because after the client creation, we need to log into the emergency. We need to enable the emergency user. In that case also, if the DDIC user is locked or you need to log in, then we need to enable the emergency user by changing this parameter. If the SAP level, you can change it if you have already access. If you don't have the access, then OS level in the profile directory, we can change it, restart it. You can log in with the SAP pass. We done it already. So we discussed already in the SAP classes time. Again,
Hey, I'm aware of that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Just thought if they face this problem in the real time, how do they actually approach it? Just to let people know that.
Okay. Then in this case, let me log into the
Sir, how to maintain this HDB user store keys? That is one question they have asked me.
HDB user store keys.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that we have to log in with the system with the SID ADM user. Okay. Once we log in with the SID ADM, so just to type the HDB user store hyphen list, right? HDB user, sorry, with SID ADM, HDB ADM, then HDB user store list. It will show the what are the parameters are installed, what is the database name, what is the instance number, all the information will be displayed here. So you can see the data. So here if you want to maintain, then HDB user store space add space. So your key name means, suppose example, so key 1, then space, then your host name and port number, then user ID space password, whatever the password, just A B C username like basis username ABCD, the password ABCD, just you can maintain. So that will be added here. So just type it here. Then one more key 1 has been added to that here. Simple. Yeah, if you want to drop HDB user store, delete. What is the one? Your key 1 that will be deleted. Deleted. Simple.
Ravi, what is this HDB user store list actually?
This by using this user store, applications will talk to the database. Application means SAP applications will talk to the database by using this user store. In the user store, we have the details like what is the schema, what is the password, all the details are available here. By using this one only, your SAP applications will talk to the HANA database.
Okay.
Okay, so any other questions, anyone? Let me try to explain that as well.
Sir, that log claim and data claim.
Reclaim log. That is the commands.
Yeah.
So only commands we have to use it in the SQL console level. We have to use it. So something like there is a commands actually. I don't remember, but commands just in the SQL console level, we have to execute that SQL statement so that the data volume, log volume will be reclaimed. So let me.
If table space is full in HANA, then how to troubleshoot it then?
Which one?
Table space in HANA.
HANA
Table space.
HANA table space. There is no table spaces in the HANA level. Don't compare the Oracle and here. There is no table spaces for the HANA databases. Always main memory. We have to look about the main memory. Only table spaces concept is only for the you have the Oracle database only. So don't compare to the HANA databases. So it's directly will sit into the main memory only. All these things will sit into the main memory. So one more thing, I think that's not opening. That's fine. Anyhow, we have covered in the topic time. You know how to reset the passwords. So one more thing for the HANA, in case of log directory got full, HANA, the log volume got full situation. So why it will happen means in case of log backup is not happening, then your log volume will get full situation. In case of log volume got full, none of the like applications will not talk to your databases, will not commit in the transactions. It will be in the hourly class mode, which means it will not commit it. System is available, but you cannot do anything in the systems. Nothing will happen, right? In case of log backup is not happening, log volume is full, this will happen. In this case, there is no downtime also. Non-production system definitely will get the downtime. We will extend it or we can clear it. We can delete it. Any housekeeping, we can do it. If any housekeeping is possible, we will do the housekeeping. In case of housekeeping is not possible, what we have to do? So just to, if there is no space, so nothing, 100% already occupied. Then if you execute the alter system, so reclaim, so log, so if you execute the command also, what will happen? So the command will not execute, or if you execute also, nothing will be free. So sometimes it will be help reclaim command. It will be free up the some of the log segment, will clear the some of the log segments. So when we have the free log segments are there, that time it will clean up the some of the blocks and log segments in the systems here, right? So here the reclaim is not possible. Then the only thing is here, create the check any availability free space in the directory. In which directory you have the availability free space is available. Suppose like root media something / shade. Then we can create the soft link to that directory ln-s, the target path. Then there is a source path. So then you can create the soft link at Linux level using the root user. You can create the soft link. Then so all the logs will be moved to this new path, target path. It will be moved here. Then so bring up the system so that where as soon as when you execute this one, you will get the some free space. Run the log backup. Then you will get all the backup logs will be backed up. You will get the lot of free space. Then bring back the system back to the previous status here. That way we can do that one. So soft link creation is mandatory here. Using the ln-s command, we have to create the soft link to existing directory to means moving the logs to the transaction logs to the other available directory. We have to do it. In case of reclaim command, log backups, all these possibilities you tried, nothing is happening. Then we can use the finally we can create the soft link to the available free space. So then logs will be moved to the directory. You will get the free space. Then you can run the reclaim command. So backups, all those things you can execute it. Okay. Any other?
Sir, the SID ADM we log in, right? The
Yes.
SID ADM which we log in, right?
Right.
Not sure if I'm asking the right way, but I was asked like in what cases do we log on to SID ADM? For what actions do we log on to that, and what actions can we perform without logging on to SID ADM?
SID ADM specific SID related activities means, so suppose like if you want to stop the system, you need to do it with the stop SAP, start SAP commands. We want to create the folder in the under the USR SAP. Under the SID, if you want to do anything, you need to log in with the SID ADM, right? If you use own user, it won't work. So you need to use the under the USR SAP, you have to do the some parameter changes, or under the USR SAP, you want to stop the SAP system, or if you want to test the connectivity test from SAP, the SID specific related activities we are doing, any admin activities, so we have to use the SID ADM related activities. The activities like stopping the system, starting the system, parameter changes, connectivity test, if any folder creation, folder deletion, any modification, movement, copy, delete, lot of things we can do it using the SID ADM user. So support parameter, support packs. So if you want to extract something, you need to use the SID ADM unit. Explain
And the replication status. Yes, sir. Yeah, go ahead, sir. Sorry.
No, tell me.
No, we use that CDPY for to check the replication and all, right? So
Yeah,
at that time,
yeah, OS level commands.
at that time, do we log in to SID ADM or directly
definitely.
CDPY?
No, directly SID. Anything that's specific related to that SID, either SAP HANA SAP system or HANA system, we need to use that one. You need to use the.
Sir, any document which would distinguish, sir, like we have to log on to SID ADM?
No, there is no specific activities, specific documents, like no one created that one. Why? Because is the simple, any SAP SID specific admin activities, anything you want to do. So then if you want to retrieve the information, you have to log in with the SID ADM only. Anything related things, SID owned by the SAP, that is owned by the specific SID, that specific SID ADM user only, we have to do it. Documents and all,
Okay, sir. And
no one like because many activities, it's not like one or two activities, like whatever the possible activities are there, we can do it that SID ADM user only.
okay, sir. And the shortcuts like CD Pro, CD EXE, which we use, right?
Yeah.
Is there like any other tips?
CD Pro and CD Trace, CD Pro, CD Trace for the trace directory, profile directory, and what is that? And CD PY, for the Python binaries directory. Shortcuts. Let me check if I have anything for the shortcuts. I will share it.
Sir, if the record count is more than 2 billion records, we have to do the partitioning, right?
Right.
Is that how we need to do that?
So partitioning, I think we covered it already. So how we will do the means using the HANA Studio or SAP SQL commands, we have to use it. We can do the partitioning. Go to the catalogs, HANA Studio, catalogs. Under the catalogs, you will get the all the information. In the catalogs, we have the schema. Under the schema, we have the tables. So right click on the table and there is a partition. So we can do the partitioning, either hash partitioning, range partitioning, or round robin partitioning. There are three types. We can do the partitioning. So system, we have to select the table, right click on the table, and we have to do that activity.
Sir, I have a question about the query. You have shown already like how to get the query from studio level also. But I have not tried. See, there is this select M database history, which will list out the system and tenant databases, right? No.
You can
So
try it. There is
yeah. That kind of query also will we get it, sir, in studio?
Yeah. Studio, we can open the HANA Studio, we can open the SQL query, right? All those things we can open it. Whatever SQL queries, we can open it from here, HANA Studio. HANA Studio, there is a option, right? So suppose if you connect to the system DB, so that is the next one.
No, like suddenly if someone says check how many system and tenant databases are there in this system in OS level.
Yeah, you can OS level. Yeah, OS level also we can execute it. Then here also m underscore. So something there is a table name, view name. So that is we can use it. Yeah, we can use it. Query, SQL queries, we can execute it here also.
No, you showed that there is I think I got confused. For parameter update, you showed the query part. How to execute that in the OS level. Certain data, like selecting the data, like the database details and all. Is there any query list in the help options, anything like that, or do we have to depend on?
We have to execute using this SQL console only. We have to form a query, whatever you required. We need to grab the details. Here in the HANA Studio level. Whatever query, SQL queries, whatever the queries you are executing, either select, update, insert, delete, whatever it may be, you need to execute from here only in the SQL console, all the queries. Otherwise, OS level, HDB, SQL, we can connect it. OS level, we can connect it here. Maybe SQL. So here we can connect to the system user, we can execute it. HDB SQL, OS level. HANA Studio level, console, we can open it, we can connect it.
Okay, sir. Like suddenly, if there's any requirement, is there any repository or any document where we have the commands in handy?
That we have to set it in the HANA administration book. So if someone prepares, then it will be distributed to everybody. So as of now, I don't think we have. By SAP also, they won't prepare. So we have to prepare it, or by our own documentation, we have to prepare it. Otherwise, each and everything will be available in the HANA administration guide. I will reshare it again in the group HANA administration guide, so that you will get all the things in the administration.